Hey, Liberty North Psych 2. It is Wednesday, April 29th, and we're going to continue on with our psych treatment chart. Okay, so today we're going to do the last three of medications, and then we'll stop there as we're kind of doing our first group of biochemical or biomedical treatments. Okay, so we're on group one. We're going down all the different types of medications, and actually we won't cover all of them, just some of the big ones that we're using. So we'll add three of those, and then tomorrow we'll start with brain stimulation. And then we should finish up the following week at some point and give you time to complete your project and take the quiz, okay? So again, access Canvas, go to your announcements for your projects, and go to assignments for a list of everything you need to do for each chapter that we cover, okay? All right, if you have any questions, email me. All right, so go ahead and get out your psych disorder chart, treatment chart, Your psych disorder chart should already be done, and you should have turned that in. So if you haven't, make sure you do that. Just send me a picture of it, which would be easiest. Just send me a pic of it in your notes, okay? All right, so far for medication, we've covered three types. Antipsychotics, which actually were the first that were introduced, created in the 1950s. So that started the whole psychiatric drug revolution, if you will. And then anti-anxiety and antidepressants we covered next. Anti-anxiety are the most prescribed currently, again, based on research, diagnosis, but we live in an age of anxiety, so that would make sense. And then we have antidepressants, okay? Now again, these can be used interchangeably, because anxiety and depression are very related biochemically and in the brain, okay? All right, our next one. Mood stabilizers, okay? And I'll do a close-up of this, right? Mood stabilizers. Now, these were invented and created really for bipolar disorder, okay? Again, we have been progressing slowly in the treatment of bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. Those are just kind of the big ones. We have different types of antipsychotics now for schizophrenia, which are helpful in psychosis. And we have new bipolar medication as well. I think if you watch TV commercials, you're going to see a lot of antidepressants. You're going to see a lot of bipolar mood stabilizer medications that are coming out and hitting the market after years of research and trial, okay? So what mood stabilizers do, again, is they stabilize me and keep me from going to either pole. So keep me from entering mania or depression, okay? So they kind of lock me in to kind of that middle area. Again, on your notes, we talked about the mood spectrum. They're generally salts, lithium, Depakote were kind of some of your early ones, I believe. And so what they do is they basically just kind of lock you into a mood to where you can't get too high and you can't get too low. Now that obviously has some of its side effects. But at the same time, it keeps them from bouncing off the poles back and forth and kind of makes their moods a little bit more stable. Thus the name, mood stabilizers, okay? We have seen a big growth in these. All right, and I put bipolar there because that's usually that's kind of what they're used for. So we are getting better at treating that, that category, that disorder with the medications. They're very helpful. Now, again, we still need to go a long way, and we still have a long way to go. So, but, most of the ones I think the last two that you've seen advertised a lot on TV are bipolar or mood stabilizer medication, okay? Because they talk about treating bipolar depression and so on and so forth, okay? All right, next one. Tranquilizers. I don't know why I'm writing so small today, sorry. Okay, we're gonna put tranquilizers. Okay, most of you have heard of these. So these are medications that basically sedate my nervous system. Okay, and are used a lot in disorders that involve panic attacks. Okay, so Xanax is probably, I think, is the most prescribed medication. You also have Valium, and there's other ones that we can use, but these are called tranquilizers. So again, what they do, again, is they sedate my nervous system so that I can't spark, so I can't go into panic. So, most anxiety disorders, mainly, if they deal with a panic attack, they're going to involve Xanax. I know some of my students are prescribed Xanax for panic. And again, it's not something that you take every day. It's take as you needed medication, because again, these can become addictive. And also, that basically anything's considered a controlled substance. If you go to the pharmacy to pick it up and the number is circled and signed by the pharmacist, they have to verify that that's how many pills you're getting, so that nobody's ripping them off and selling them on the black market, which people sell Xanax and Valium on the black market because people are highly addicted to it. So very addictive medications meant to be used just when needed. So there are people that actually prescribe Xanax every day, but it's just not a medication that you want to be on all the time, because if you get addicted to it, it's very painful to get off of it. So most of the people, they take it every day. They only take it at night, or they only take it in situations in which their panic has been started, or they know that they're going to go into a panic-evoking situation, so they take it ahead of time. Usually these will start working probably within 10 minutes to sedate your nervous system, and they tranquilize you. So again, those of you who have had surgery, the best analogy or comparison is if, right before you go under, when they tell you to start counting backwards, they give you a shot of something that just really calms you down, really relaxes you, and then you kind of go into sleep. So it's kind of like that last feeling there, which you can see why it would be so addictive. Especially if you're anxious and stressed, especially if you have generalized anxiety disorder, you're anxious and stressed all the time. You never get a break from it. Having these medications to kind of help every once in a while, and when it was needed, to help you interact with society, to keep your job, that type of thing, that they could put you on these things. Okay. These generally last about 6 hours. There are some longer versions that last about 12 hours. But they kind of follow the bell curve. So like you take it and it begins to increase, and it peaks about 3 hours, and then it kind of declines as well. So you don't have the same amount of these in your system the entire time. It's either increasing or decreasing. Okay. So tranquilizers. And then last one we have our AntiSeizure. I wrote this one a little bit bigger, so hopefully you can see it. Sorry. Okay, so we have anti-seizure medications, okay, which are commonly used to treat epilepsy or any type of seizure disorder, but are also used for anxiety and other kind of psychological disorders. So I don't know if I spelled seizure right. I think I got it wrong. Let me look here real quick. I think I got my I and my E mixed up. Oh, I got it right. Oh, I got it right. Okay, so just didn't look right for some reason. Happens a lot to us teachers. You write something and you're like, gosh, that just doesn't look right, and then you doubt yourself. Okay. So anti-seizure medications, which are commonly, obviously, used to treat epilepsy or any type of seizure disorder, but we also use them in our psychotropic medication, our psychiatry treatments toolbox, mainly to treat anxiety. Okay, so they can also be used to treat like neuropathic pain, migraines, so on and so forth. But what they do is they sedate, again, the nervous system, mainly by, I think, increasing GABA, which is our most sedative neurotransmitter. These actually, yeah, that's what they do. They give you, getting into addictive type medications, that give you increases and decreases, never the same amount. These would kind of give you the same amount of GABA. And then again, what it does is it basically sedates the brain so that, so these are kind of more sympathetic, activating the parasympathetic nervous system medications, and they work on GABA. This one is pretty much just GABA in the brain. So it's going to give you a steady, higher dose of GABA so that you don't have any seizures, but then also so your brain doesn't spark into anxiety and an anxious response or anything like that. Okay? All right. All right, so that will be the end of our medication component of the biomedical side. So we've got 6 here. Obviously, there are more. Your big ones are the ones that I listed first. So your first 5 are pretty big, most very commonly used. This one actually is growing, and to where it's actually becoming pretty common to treat for anxiety. So, and I think this was actually also used for depression, which doesn't make sense because it's kind of depressing the brain, if you would. It's slowing it down. But there's something about GABA that actually can have an antidepressive effect as well. Not only a calming effect, sedative effect, but also it decreases depressed mood. All right. So I'll give you some examples of just some kind of stuff you know. But again, on the quiz, I think there's just, I think list 4 medications, 4 types of medications that treat psych disorders, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Any questions on anything today? Okay. So as always, make sure you're accessing Canvas. Go to your chapter assignments through the assignment link and make sure you're getting all that work to me. I know some of you are jumping in and out of participating in the class. So just make sure everything you need, whether you're taking a little hiatus or whatever, is listed on Canvas for you to access. Okay. Again, as always, if you have any questions, email me, contact me, but make sure you check Canvas first because I'm kind of set that up to where that has everything that you need. It's kind of we're doing the same things that we've been doing all semester. We're just doing it virtually. So we're covering the material. We're not able to see the cool videos and do the cool activities, but then you have your vocab assignment, your project, your quiz, and then you have the chart that you got to turn in. Okay. All right. Hope everybody's having a good day.